Alright, everybody, so we are back with more Nintendo Week. I'm your host, Colin McIsaac, and as always, I'm joined by Alex Plant.
Yay.
And Ben Lemoreau.
I am ready for the shame.
And we are discussing what Nintendo games that we shamefully haven't played. None of us know any of the games on each other's lists, so we are going to be shocked and surprised and heavily shaming, whatever.
There may be tears.
There will be tears, because I know you haven't played Mother 3. But heavy shaming of the games that are on each other's lists. So, let's get started. I'm ready for the hate. Who's gonna go?
You're ready for the hate, so you should go.
All right, that's fair enough. Well, I'll start it off soft. I am a big Donkey Kong fan. Oh god, this is such a cop-out. I'm just gonna say it. I'm no build-up. I haven't played DK Jungle Climber.
Wow.
That's
a heavy hitter.
No, that was one of the ones that I put on there just cuz. And I'm such a big Donkey Kong guy, so it doesn't really count. I haven't
Colin's
played.
joke post.
Well, I'll throw in another one because that one's just not a good one. This is good because I'm like a big Pokemon guy. Played just about everything, but I haven't played Black or White 2. I heard good things about them. I've heard they're way better than Black and White. I've actually heard that they solve a lot of the world-building issues that I have with modern Pokemon games, and just haven't had the heart to pick them up.
I can't shame you too bad for that, just because I was kind of disheartened with Black and White 1, so I almost didn't pick up the sequels either, but unlike, the first two games, you can actually get Pokemon from every generation of Black and White 2. So it fixed one of the biggest problems for me, is that, such a small arsenal of Pokemon, and then also I personally think that Gen 5 has the weakest lineup. So I would recommend, if you enjoyed Black and White 1 even a little bit, that you should play Black and White 2, or at least get a time machine and go back in time and just never buy Black and White 1 and buy Black and White 2 instead.
Well, good shaming, Ben. You're really embracing the spirit of this discussion.
I'm glad you made that time machine comment. I wish I could do that, because I can't shame Colin at all, because I too have not played Pokemon Black and White.
Oh yeah,
2.
was that one of your?
No, it was not one of mine.
Did you play the first ones?
I did, and they left such a bad taste in my mouth that I decided never again. And then I bought X and Y and went through the same thing.
All right, so who's going next? Let's go reverse alphabetical order. Ben.
All right. So I actually,
I don't know.
I've got a few things on my list, and I'm going hardcore. Instead of just going for like individual good games, I'm going for Nintendo franchises that I've barely or not at all touched.
Okay.
Would you say you've raised the stakes?
Yeah, basically. So my first one is F-Zero.
Okay.
Ooh.
I have played the first F-Zero on Super Nintendo for maybe a total of like half an hour, and I have not touched a single other game in the series.
No GX?
Only half an hour?
No GX.
You haven't even cumulatively, you haven't built up more than a half an hour over time?
Correct.
Wow.
Really? I don't even like F-Zero all that much, and I've definitely played more than half an hour of the Super Nintendo version just because I play video games, and that's a video game.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, here I was thinking I was going to be ashamed about my lack of F-Zero, but,
Alright, Alex, next one.
Okay. This one's going to hit you both right in the feels.
Oh no.
I have not played Earthbound.
Get
I
out!
knew it.
I own it. I bought
knew
it
it.
on Wii U Virtual Console,
You own it and you haven't played it.
and I haven't played it. I played up to the second town, whatever it's called. I don't even remember.
Too soon?
That's how bad I am.
It
I'm a
literally
terrible
has
person.
2 in the name.
Colin, sidebar.
Yeah?
Can we fire him, like, right now?
I was gonna say, you're not welcome back on this podcast until you've beaten Earthbound.
Yeah, okay.
That's a lie.
No, I like a lot of what's going on with it. It's just the minute-to-minute gameplay is kind of a drag for me. So it was hard for me to get into it at first.
I can feel that. Mother 3 fixed a lot of that issue just because they introduced a running mechanic.
Yeah.
Which, I mean, the fact that you're restricted to walking unless you're riding your bike, in which case you can't have anyone in your party at the time. It does hurt the flow of the game.
And the controls also aren't my favorite.
Yeah, I feel that. Ugh, still upsetting. Well, I will go on to my next one. Ben raised the stakes a little bit, so I'll say that's basically my situation, except with Star Fox. I really enjoyed Star Fox Command, I think it was, on the DS. but that's not really that much of a Star Fox game, and I basically have no memory of it anymore. So really, I've played maybe an hour of Star Fox 64, and other than that, I have a massive collection of games, and that's, I think, the only one that I have in the series.
So you didn't pick it up on 3DS, or?
Nope.
Ugh.
No.
It's very good.
You should. It's a pretty good remake, actually.
I played it on 3DS for just like a minute, just to see the comparison. Like a friend of mine had it, and the voices just killed it for me.
They changed some of it.
Oh, they were horrible originally, and they continue to be horrible.
Yeah, but
even when they redid them.
But at least the original ones were horrible in an original way. These ones are just bad voice. Like, they had an opportunity to fix it, and they just kept it bad. If they were gonna keep it bad, they should have kept the classic, nostalgic ones that, you know, everyone knows and loves.
So I guess that begs the question, if the new Star Fox has better voice acting, will you buy it?
Well, I'll probably buy the new Star Fox anyway, just cause.
Because you're the Wii U apologist. Yeah. Also, you write for gaming.
Yeah. Alright, Ben,
so I'm up next, and I think this next one is slightly more shameful. I'm trying to go in order and build up to the big one that's going to make you guys hate me. So the second series that I've barely touched at all is Fire Emblem. And by barely touched at all, I mean I had the one on Game Boy Advance just because I got it as a free ambassador game. So that'd be Sacred Stones, I think.
Just to be clear, you're talking about entire series
I am talking about
here,
the
right? Not just
Fire
the Game Boy game
series.
Fire Emblem.
I'm saying out of all of the Fire Emblem series, I've just played Sacred Stones for like...
Not even Awakening?
Not
Awakening is one of the best games ever made. Awakening is like one of the best 3DS games ever made.
Well, maybe I'll have to pick it up
Awakening
over the
is
summer
like
when I'm bored and have nothing to do. Because, you know, I like strategy and such, but I couldn't get into Sacred Stones when I played it, and I haven't tried any of the other games in the series.
Yeah, well, I understand not being able to get into Sacred Stones. I feel like the older Fire Emblem games have much higher entry gaps, but...
They're also not as...
Yeah, I was really bored by the early
big
pacing.
Plus for Awakening.
Yeah. But they fixed so much of that by the time Awakening rolls around, and Awakening actively fixes a lot of that. So, I mean, it's just such a good game. If you haven't been able to get interested in the other ones, you've got to start with Awakening.
All right, maybe I'll give it a shot after Alex beats Earthbound.
The writing's better, characters are more dynamic, graphics are pretty nice.
Graphics are really nice,
you know, a 3DS Fire Emblem game.
And I hate feet, so...
I guess that's me then.
Yeah.
So a lot of people would say this is the worst game to have not played out of this franchise. And that's Donkey Kong Country 2. I own it.
Get out!
I have started it. I have played some of it. I have not finished it. I have not progressed very far.
Okay, the question is, how far have you gotten?
I beat the first 2 worlds.
Okay. Honestly, that was farther than I've gotten until I was about, like, 16 or so.
Yeah, no, I was even exposed to it when I was a kid, and even going back to it now, like, I still haven't gotten very far.
Well, I feel like Donkey Kong Country 2 is really easy to love. It's been one of my favorite... Like, I played it when I was, like, 3 or 4 years old. I am that young, believe it or not.
Well, and I'll add insult to injury. I don't think it's the bee's knees or anything.
Is it the zinger's
I like
knees?
The pirate theme. I actually played Donkey Kong Land 2, but for some reason it's not grabbing me. I don't know why.
That's sad.
Very sad.
It's such a good game. It's so atmospheric.
The soundtrack
and
is
wonderful.
fantastic.
It's so good. And what I really like about Donkey Kong Country 2 is that you're going into the pirates' territory. You're invading the Kremling's homeland. That's some real
the premise is
right
cool.
there.
It's I don't know. I played the original Donkey Kong Country, and I guess one of the things that I'm not liking about DKC2 is the extreme focus on collectibles.
Oh, I don't really bother with
the levels are still well designed by themselves, but I feel like they're just throwing so much crap to do.
The only collectibles were the
the
Krem coins and the DK tokens, and the DK tokens aren't even really. I mean, they're there.
Krem coins are kind of fun,
to
find, but
Krem coins are mostly just like rewards for beating bonus stages and stuff. I feel like there weren't really many collectibles in 2. I don't know what you're talking about.
Well, compared to 1, it's. I
mean, there were
pretty
more.
It feels very extreme, and even compared to Returns. Well, I didn't really focus on puzzle pieces that much.
Okay, well, I'm mad at you.
You should be. You're a terrible human being.
If we're gonna go with sequels, I think you guys might be upset with me on this one. I have neither played Metroid Prime 2 nor 3. I played Metroid Prime for the first time last summer.
Oh, God.
Yeah. And I haven't played Metroid Prime 2 or 3.
I was almost going to say, I can forgive you since you've played 1, but then you said you hadn't played it till last
summer.
Yeah, that's pretty
Yeah,
rough.
at that point I was thinking, I should probably just play Metroid Prime at this point. Nicola was still at my throat for not having played Mass Effect, but I was like, you know what, that can wait.
I'm actually playing Mass Effect right now.
As we speak.
Why are you not playing Earthbound right now?
Because I'm playing Mass Effect.
Earthbound is the much better game with aliens.
Obviously.
Yeah, so back to Colin shaming. Is there any reason why you never moved on to 2 and 3?
I think probably just mostly timing. I remember I picked up 3 when it came out, because I hadn't really been much of a Metroid guy up until then, and I felt like that was my big opportunity to get into it. Especially, the Wii was newer, and the motion controls I've always just felt were so much better fit for shooters, especially first-person shooters. So I got that, and I played through like an hour tops, but you know, by this point, this is nearly 10 years later, I've just almost completely forgotten anything that happened in that first hour of gameplay, so.
Gotcha.
Yeah, it's mostly just a matter of time, and I also... Metroid Prime was amazing, but there was so much backtracking in it that it was really hard for me once I was done to say, okay, I want to play more Metroid Prime. You know what I mean? Because at that point, I was walking from one end of a place to another just so that I could get to an elevator to get to a different zone, and then go all the way through that zone just to get one key to unlock the next thing, and then go all the way back.
It's a bit of a grind.
I feel like at least half of the time I spent playing that game was just walking through worlds meaninglessly just so I could get some arbitrary thing.
Yeah.
And, you know, Metroid Prime is still a fantastic game, but that grind just sort of, by the time I was done Metroid Prime, I wasn't itching to move on to the next one. And I think I'll probably pick them up at some point later when I am itching to play more Metroid Prime and I can play a new experience rather than replaying the original and just experiencing that a second time. But as for now,
So I guess follow-up question, have you played any other Metroid games or just Metroid
Yeah,
Prime?
Fusion, I played about halfway or more through Super Metroid. I loved both of them. I beat Fusion, love Fusion. It's one of my favorite games.
You might have mentioned this before.
Probably at some point. I don't know if I have on the podcast, but yeah. I do love 2D Metroid. It's just a matter of playing enough of it.
Gotcha. Yeah, Metroid fans might crucify me for saying this, but I think fast travel between save points would go a long way.
Oh, so much better.
Just
or if
between
not save points, then maybe just like a few specific areas that allow for it, like teleporters or
sure.
something.
I mean, it'd even be plausible for that to happen since there are already these crazy little technology pads anyway. Anyway.
Yeah, and I mean, they're really big worlds. They really need fast travel.
Yeah, yeah. And you don't gain a lot out of just wandering back to the place you were before, unless you pick up stuff along the way, but if you want to do that, you'll do that.
Right. All right, Ben.
So this is the big shameful thing on my list that you guys are going to be very upset with me for.
All right.
So I'm going to preface it by saying I have played a little bit of these games. I just haven't played any of them all the way through.
I think I know what's coming.
I did not grow up with a GameCube. I've never beaten a Pikmin game.
No!
Crucify him.
No!
I got Pikmin 3!
No! I thought you were going to say Kirby, and I was going to forgive you for that, but Pikmin?
Well, I've barely played any Kirby either. That's because Kirby just bores the hell out of me. But Pikmin, I got Pikmin 3 as my free game for buying Mario Kart when they had that promotion going on.
Cue the little ghost
and
noises.
I've played a few days into it, and I liked it, but I don't know, I haven't felt compelled to just, like, sit down and tear through it. And then, like I said, I didn't grow up with a GameCube, so I just played a little bit of the first 2 games at, like, friends' house and things like that, but I've never really sat down and played a Pikmin game all the way through.
I'm sitting here with my face buried in my palms. Just sad for you.
Yeah, dear Gamnesia readers and Gamnesia staff, if you ever needed evidence that Ben has no soul, you now have your evidence.
Pikmin is just such a fulfilling game. I just love it. Every emotion that a human can feel, I feel with Pikmin.
See? That's why I don't like it.
Yeah, exactly. Ben has no happiness, no sadness.
So much. And I can't
empathy.
believe you. And I hate you, and I'm never talking to you again.
This is going to make for an awkward
kind of awkward.
A bunch of terrible episodes coming up.
We're going to have to all communicate with me as the leader.
I'm
Alex,
surprised
you're the
that
go-between.
hasn't come up before. That this is the first time I'm hearing about this.
Yeah, maybe it's just my deep, dark secret that I've kept away from you for all these years.
I can never let him know.
It's like I don't even know you anymore.
All right, well,
Top that, Alex.
is
Yeah.
it our big bad shameful round? Are we going for number ones here?
That was probably my big bad.
I already got my number one for you guys out of the way. I mean, I guess that my next one's pretty bad if you're a long-time hardcore fan of the series. But I haven't played, really, owned, either Super Mario Kart or Mario Kart DS.
That's okay.
And the reason why I consider these shameful is because a lot of people consider them to be the best games in the series.
Super Mario Kart, no.
I haven't played a lot of Mario Kart DS, so I can agree with you on that one. But Super, I played a lot growing up.
Super, whoever says that is the best game in the series is horribly misguided. Mario Kart DS, I feel like there's an okay case for it, but Mario Kart 8 is, without question in my mind, the best game in the series.
Oh, I agree.
I'm going to give you a pass on
not
that
just
one, because
best,
I don't
maybe
find that to be
purest.
that shameful. I just don't.
I'm ashamed. They're apparently both great games. They apparently represent, when Mario Kart had a great battle mode and a great single-player campaign. Not that most people care. I certainly don't, but apparently I should, because apparently
DS
people are mad
definitely
that
did
mission mode is
have a
gone.
great single-player mode. There are challenges and all this crazy stuff that I'm shocked hasn't come back.
They just want to put in the effort.
Yeah.
Well, it doesn't register too highly on our shimometers, so I guess you're all right.
Yeah. I guess I've been getting gradually less shameful.
Yeah.
Maybe I'll have
survived
a
this
bonus.
round,
Here-
Alex.
I'll have a bonus. Here's a game that I've played, but I didn't enjoy.
Okay.
Yoshi's Island on Super Nintendo.
Now,
Okay.
see, 10-year-old Ben would kick your ass for saying that, but 24-year-old Ben agrees with you. Like, I enjoyed the hell out of that game as a kid, but now as an adult, I just don't find it very appealing, and I haven't found any of the sequels very appealing either.
Add that to my shame list.
What?
I played Yoshi's Island a little bit when I was younger, but I remember so little of it, and I played Yoshi's Island DS actually for a little while, and I still remember so little of it.
Mostly you just shoot eggs at things.
I know. I don't remember, oddly, I don't remember enough of Yoshi's Island to consider myself to have really played it and experienced it.
Wow.
So I hadn't thought of that one somehow. That didn't make it on my list, but huh.
I hadn't played it till I got the Ambassador version either. So and people don't consider that the true Yoshi's Island anyway.
Yeah, the Game Boy Advance one. Yeah. Anyway, well,
Very sad.
if we're going with number ones, this one is gonna shock you, I imagine. I have not played Banjo-Kazooie.
What?
Are you
Yeah.
kidding me?
Nope. Haven't played Banjo-Kazooie. I've played maybe 20, 30 minutes of it, but not enough to really have considered myself to have played Banjo-Kazooie. I just love the characters, I love the worlds, I love Rareware, and I love 3D platformers.
No, you can't dig yourself out of this hole now. Alex informed
No.
Colin that I am no longer speaking to him.
No, I'm just.
Yeah, I
I'm
guess
just saying,
Ben's no longer speaking to you.
I love like the worlds of Banjo-Kazooie, and I'm super stoked for ukulele. And I
No, you don't
really
get to
want-
play ukulele until
I
you
really,
play
I really
Banjo-Kazooie.
want more 3D platforming stuff, but I just haven't played it.
Did you ever play Conker's Bad Fur Day?
Nope.
Did you play anything
Conker's
Rare
Bad
made
Fur
ever?
Day is crazy expensive. Yeah, I played all the Donkey Kong Country games. I played Diddy Kong Racing.
Okay, how about
played,
the N64 era?
Nope. Donkey
No
Kong 64,
Banjo-Tooie either?
Actually, I played Donkey Kong 64.
Okay,
but,
that's a little better.
I was too young to realize that it was a bad game, which I've only heard in recent years. So
It's those darn mini games and how they're everywhere.
yeah, but I know for someone who champions Banjo and Kazooie so much as like awesome characters and great games, I've never actually played them for myself.
I'm gonna take your fan card away and
Yeah,
rip into
feel
a
free to
million
do that.
shreds.
That is like by far big shame factor on my list here. So
And then I'm gonna spread the pieces of your shredded fan card across Banjo-Kazooie's worlds, so you have to play it to get them back.
I thought you were gonna do something much crueler. Like I will gladly do that to recollect my fan cards.
You have 3 days.
Glad I can motivate you. Because this
Awesome.
podcast is gonna be really awkward if none of us
Awesome.
are talking.
All right, well, thank you guys so much for listening. This is the Endo Nintendo Week for today. If you like this podcast, please subscribe to us on iTunes or subscribe to us on YouTube at Gamnesia TV for bite-sized discussions from the show. And please head to iTunes to leave us a review. It really helps with visibility, so we greatly appreciate it, especially if you have good things to say instead of bad ones. If you have feedback for Nintendo Week, please send it to colin@gamnesia.com. And remember to send in your questions about Nintendo, about our show. We love engaging with you guys, and we read them and talk about them here on the show, so it's a great way to get involved. And again, that's Colin at Gamnesia.com. COLIN at GAMNESIA.COM. Did I
spelling?
Is that suspense? Was that good? Did I do it, guys?
I didn't know what was going to happen next.
And if you can't wait till next week for more of our stuff, you can head to Gamnesia.com to see more gaming news as it happens. We've got Sony, Microsoft, Indie, you name it, and even more Nintendo news that we didn't have the time to discuss on this week's show. Thank you so much for listening, and we hope you have another great week.